Welcome to day 3 of our video devotions. Tom and I are outside in our backyard now. Not exactly the season to be swimming, but the miracle that we're going to share with you, that being what we're talking about today, is expecting a miracle. It has to do with our swimming pool. Woohoo! And that was a breeze right there. It's so cold.
By the way, it's very cold.
Yeah. So I'm going to read the verses that we have for you today, and that is John chapter 14, verses 12 through 14. Jesus is talking, and this is what he says. I tell you the truth. Anyone who believes in me will do the same works I have done, and even greater works, because I'm going to be with the Father. And here's the powerful verse. You can ask for anything in my name, and I will do it, so the Son can bring glory to the Father. Yes, ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it. That is a bold and powerful promise that Jesus made to us. And I feel like what happens to us too many times is that we don't ask for the big things, for the miracles that Jesus wants to give us. And actually the story we're about to tell you has to do with a prayer that I know that most parents can identify with, and it's a prayer Tom and I prayed all of our lives, and that's for our children to be safe and for God to protect their lives. So we've prayed that prayer, and we continue to pray that prayer for our children's lives, and God gave us a miracle. So tell us about that, Tom.
On August the 2nd, 2012, at nearly midnight, after a long day in the voting booths on the polls, TJ and Zach Bridges were out here swimming in the pool, and TJ was holding his breath for a long period of time, and he passed out and was on the bottom of the pool. And Zach alertly went down and pulled TJ out and saved his life. Now that is a miracle. That's an answered prayer for protection for our kids. When you pray in Jesus' name, remember, it's not a magic trick. It's not pixie dust. When you pray in Jesus' name, it means you're honoring the name of Christ with your prayer, and what you pray is to advance the cause of Christ. You can't just pray something selfish. God, make me a bazillionaire in Jesus' name. What is behind that prayer? Is it honoring Christ? And are you living a life that honors Christ? When you pray in Jesus' name, remember, you represent Him. How well are you doing that in everyday life? There's a couple of things that we need to have for an assignment. And let me get the iPad to come back. Leanne, what are these things?
Let's see. Our two things that we're asking you to do today is this. As a family, especially if you're doing this with your spouse or with your kids, I want you to take time to write down one thing God could do for you in 2015 that would be miraculous. And I actually wrote in my notes, what could God do for you in 2015 that would be laughable? Like, it would be so miraculous and so amazing that you would just laugh at the end of the year when you saw that happen. I want you to print those things on a piece of paper and then put it on your refrigerator so that you can see those things throughout the year. And the second thing is to think about, and this is more for you to do personally, what do you need to do in order to agree wholeheartedly with Christ? You see, the verse that we read to you, Jesus says, when you're asking it in my name, and that's what Tom was encouraging you to understand, that it's when your heart and your mind can be one with the heart and the mind of God, those are the prayers God's going to answer. So what can you do in your life to line your heart and your mind up with the heart and the mind of God? Is that to make a commitment to a quiet time? Would that be to make a commitment to pray together as a family? Would that be to be more grateful on a daily basis? Or maybe you need to stop doing something that you know is not pleasing to God. Whatever that is, that's between you and Him. So those are your two assignments. Think about a miracle that you could trust God for this year, and think about a way that you can line your heart and your mind up with Christ.
That's the end of day 3.
Day 3.
See you tomorrow.